want to first interview and introduce Jen Foster. Jen is a good friend of mine. She has been a best-selling author, not once or twice, but 15 times. She is the co-owner of Elite Online Publishing and also owns Biz Social Boom, companies dedicated to helping business owners of all sizes thrive in today's highly technical world of product and service promotion. Jen comes from a family of entrepreneurs, of successful entrepreneurs. Her grandfather started the Maverick Country Stores oil and gas station chain. That's crazy. I did not know that, Jen. Let's bring you on here. And well, gosh, Jen, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a bit about your chapter. Tell us what you contributed to the book Authority.
Yeah, my chapter is about becoming an expert and helping people to understand that you are an expert and getting those raving fans. So that's what my chapter's about, and I'm really excited to be a part of this book. I mean, this book really does talk about how you can become the authority, or if you were the authority before and now nobody knows it, you can become the authority again by writing a book, and that's what my chapter's about.
Okay, so you know a ton about authority, having published a gazillion books for yourself and for clients. What's one of the best nuggets that you feel like you can share from your chapter?
Well,
or a nugget. I don't need.
Yeah, I really want you to get a copy of the book, especially because it's only 99 cents today. But I have a few quotes in there, so I'll just read you one of my favorite quotes. By Albert Einstein. It's, if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, then you don't know it yourself. And that's something that, if you're an authority on a subject, you know the content and it's easy to understand. So I just love that quote by Albert Einstein, and that's part of a little tiny bit of a nugget of what's in my chapter.
Okay. So Jen, tell me if you got a hold of yourself when you were about 12. You got a hold of yourself when you were about 12 and you were able to pass something on to them that you wish you knew then that you know now, what would that be?
That's a really good question. I would probably say the confidence factor, right? Like, when you're 12, you don't have that much confidence. So I think I would tell myself, if you just feel that confidence when you do have that confidence and keep that confidence, then you can do anything. So I think that it's the confidence factor of believing in yourself.
Okay, so I also want to throw in a question here quickly about this project, because this project came about, with a huge portion of your influence as we created this anthology about authority from a variety of authors. What did you see that was special about it? Like what was your inspiration for, hey, yeah, let's do this thing. Let's do this authority book.
Yeah, well, I think I've done a couple of collaboration books before in the past, but I think, what got me excited about this one was, a few of the people in the book are in our mastermind group. A few are really big influencers online and offline. And I really just felt like it had such energy that I wanted to be a part of it. And so that's kind of, just having that collaboration feel and having the same message all in one book about authority. I just was excited to be a part of it. Hey, Melanie, how's it going?
Fantastic. So excited to be here today. What an exciting day with this book launching, all this information that's being shared. It's just so exciting for 2021. Great way to start off the year.
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know who Melanie Johnson is, besides her being my amazing business partner, she is a 14-time best-selling author, and she not only is a best-selling author, but she has started TV stations, and she was a model, and she was runner-up to Miss America. So she's got a really great bio. You can check that out inside the book as well. So Melanie, tell us about your chapter. What is your chapter about?
So my chapter is about harnessing the power of Amazon. So many people don't know when you become an author, all of a sudden Amazon starts to work for you and promote you. So it's all of these secrets that you and I know and use, and we help our authors do that we're sharing with everybody else now.
Yeah, I love that you give the inside secrets, because that's what people want to know. You know, it's like, hey, tell me all your deep, deep secrets that you can get on how you become an authority. So before you interview Jason Van Camp, I want you to give a little nugget of part of your book. So what's something in there that people would want to read about?
One of the secrets is that when you become an author, only authors get to have an Amazon author page, which is like a Facebook page for an author. And you get to put all this great content out there. And once you have this page, people can follow you. But not only that, Amazon search engine optimization is so strong, right? They're like the behemoth of the whole internet, that they push that page up to the first page of search. So we have all these secrets that you can put on that page that really help to make it so beneficial for you, and you can monetize it. We call it the $1 million page is what we call it. So that's one of the big secrets out there. So when you want to know more information, how to leverage that page and the content you should put on your Amazon author page, make sure you grab the book, because all of those secrets are inside of there.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it was a few years ago, Melanie and I got invited to a Super Bowl party with Lee Steinberg. And if you don't know who Lee Steinberg is he's the Jerry Maguire. So you know the movie Jerry Maguire, that's him. Well,
Yep.
We wanted to research more about him, so we Googled him, and we were like, okay, for sure, since he's Jerry Maguire, his website's going to be #1, and he's going to have all this content. Plus, he's a huge, sports agent, all this. So we looked him up, and Google, the very first result was Amazon.com. And that was all. He had 2 books at the time. I think he has more now, but that was his very first page.
Yep.
And that told everything about him. And then his website was like #4. And his Jerry Maguire stuff, of course, came up like 2nd and 3rd. But it was pretty incredible that Amazon had him above all the Jerry Maguire stuff. Like, that's a movie that everyone knows. Like, you would think that would be #1 when you type in Steinberg, but it was his Amazon author page. So Amazon, that is like the $1 million page for sure. Well, thank you so much.
There's Jason.
There he is. There he is. I can hear you now. I'm getting bad reception, so I had to come outside, but I had a hard time hearing you before, but I can hear you loud and clear right now.
Well, I love seeing the blue sky behind you.
Yeah.
So it's like nice and bright and sunny. So, I don't have your bio in front of me. First off, tell me just a little bit, give me your short 3-sentence bio on you so everybody knows who you are.
Okay, 3-sentence bio on Jason Van Camp. West Point graduate, played football there. Commissioned officer in the United States Army, became a Ranger and a Green Beret, deployed 3 times to the Middle East, to Korea and Africa as well. Got my MBA from BYU and started a company called Mission 60, which offers leadership development services. And then I have a nonprofit called Warrior Rising, which helps veterans find their purpose again through business ownership.
I feel like they should make a movie about your life, Jason.
Yeah,
There's not many guys that have your credentials, okay?
No, when compared to your bio, you feel kind of small. So
I don't think so. Green Beret, holy cow. All right, so tell us a little bit about your chapter.
Okay, so I was honored to be invited to write a chapter in this amazing book and to be alongside tremendous authors like yourself, Melanie and Jen. My chapter is about FOPO. You've heard of FOMO, which is fear of missing out. Well, FOPO is fear of people's opinions. And it's an anxiety that you have when you want to say something or post something online, but the possible negative consequences of doing that are so overwhelming that you don't say or post anything because you're afraid of what other people think about you, afraid of what other people are going to say about you. You are afraid of them creating a new identity for you. And better still, like I talk about in the book, changing the way you think about yourself.
So give us that is so good. And I have FOPO a lot of times. Here I've been a news anchor, and when I go to do live stuff, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I got to look right. I don't have my makeup on today. And I get all of that stuff. It's terrible. So I really relate to that. And even I've had so much on camera experience that I still get that. So give us like one nugget of how to get over that.
Well, first thing that I tell people is you got to figure out who you are first and foremost. You have to find out what your values are, what you believe in. And you got to tell them, don't pretend that you're somebody that you aren't. Once you know who you are, you got to turn the volume up. And when you're in a position of FOPO, generally you're in a position of being a leader of some sort. And being a leader is influencing other people to be the best that they can be. And when you do that, you have to let them know that you have your priorities in order. You know yourself, and you put the mission first, then your team, then your teammates, finally all the way at the very bottom, yourself.
I love it. That's great, great information. And if you want more of that, that's just one nugget. Can you imagine all the other stuff that he's got in that chapter? So, Jason, if you could tell your younger self something about authority, what would you tell yourself?
That's a great question. So when we say, what would I tell my younger self? How old would I be? Like I want to tell my younger self 10 years ago, I would tell that younger self, Jason, don't neglect marketing. Don't be afraid of putting yourself out there. Jump on the social media, jump on the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram and the LinkedIn. Start your stuff right now. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And you'll find that people like who you are, And if I would have done this 10 years ago, I'd probably have millions of viewers in my mind, just like Jocko did, because we started at the same time and we have a very similar message. So in the military, when I was a Green Beret, our nickname was the quiet professional. So you sometimes think that you're going to be quiet. You're not going to talk about yourself. You're not going to put yourself out there. You're not going to do any of that. Well, you can be a quiet professional, but I urge people not to be silent professionals.
I agree 100%. I did a TED talk called Leaving Life Legacy. And it's, if you don't share your information, then how are you helping anyone else? People complain about other people, but if you're not sharing your wisdom with them, then you have no right to complain about how they're doing it or what they're doing at the younger generation. So I love that. I love that. All right. And it's never too late. It's never too late to get yourself out there, I think is what you're saying too. That's the message. If you're starting from ground zero by writing a book and becoming the authority and sharing your knowledge can just take you skyrocketing right up to the top. So great message, Jason. Thank you so, so much for being a part of this book. So make sure you grab the book and get to read Jason's chapter and Jen's chapter and my chapter. All right. So Nathan Johnson is one of the authors of this book, and he just turned 20 not too long ago. He's an entrepreneur. He started when he was 13 on Instagram, having Instagram sites. He sells advertising. If you're looking to advertise on Instagram, that's what he does. He does it for creators. He does it for models. He does it for brands. He creates ads. He places ads on different influencers' places. And I have to say, I'm really proud of him. He's like blown it up this last year. He refocused and decided to just blow up his Instagram. He has over 6 million. I think that's right? Over 6 million followers between all of his pages and still growing. So that's Nathan Johnson. And so Nathan, welcome. Thanks for being a part of the book.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your chapter.
So my chapter is just really about what I love to do and why the past 10 years of my life have been really focused on it. A lot of people didn't see the positive to social media when it comes to business and how it could benefit your business. But since I was 13, I had been focusing on it and trying to tell people that it was going to be the new big thing and that everybody needs to be there. So now that social media is this big thing that I predicted it to be, it's important for people to understand how to use it and how to leverage it for their business. Because now if you're not leveraging social media, then you're doing something wrong.
That's so true. So
Yeah.
Give us some nuggets from your chapter. What's like 1 or 2 nuggets you can give us that you put in your chapter?
So the biggest thing that I talked about in the chapter is kind of your brand image on your social media. So as weird as it may sound, there are dentists and doctors that are on social media now. So I've talked to people about this and personally have worked with some dentists and doctors on social media. And in our discussions, they revealed to me that oftentimes people will only go to them and go see them because they have followers or because they're verified on Instagram. So dentists on average, they make thousands of dollars per, and same thing with orthodontists, is if they're a reoccurring, customer or patient that always comes in, we've been seeing the same dentist for our entire lives. So there are thousands of dollars made on each of their recurring patients. And they say that the value of each patient could be anywhere between $100 if they only come in once, or $1,000 if they keep coming in. And their number one customer acquisition is through social media, and through the fact that they have followers, and they have a blue verified check mark, which I also touch on in my chapter on how important being verified is. So there are a lot of good nuggets in there for anybody who's either has an existing business or is starting their own business right now. But the greatest nugget out of that is just, you need to brand yourself as an established business. Even if you are not yet, you kind of have to fake it till you make it. And that's the biggest thing that I've preached my entire life, is you just fake it till you make it. Because then once you're there, then you don't have to. Yeah, there's somebody just commented, I think of social media as being more honest than Yelp. And that's a very true assumption that is now becoming a reality for a lot of people, that instead of going to Yelp, you're just going to like a restaurant's Instagram page, or you're going to, Elite Online Publishing Instagram page.
So let me ask you, I mean, you started when you were 13 and you pressured your mother, who is me, into getting you doing a major investment for a 13-year-old into Instagram. I think we spent $5,000. I think I must have been out of my mind, but I did it because I believed in you. So tell us, if you could tell, like, you kind of got away from it a little bit at 14, 15 years old. So if you could tell your younger self something, what would you tell yourself? Like when you were 15?
Yeah, I would tell younger me to not let other people discourage you. That's what I would tell younger me. The biggest issue that I came into was bullying and just kind of being looked down on in high school, because back when I was doing social media, it wasn't cool. Now every kid wants to be a TikToker. Every kid wants to be a YouTuber. Back then, when I was in high school, freshman year, it was still, you want to be an athlete, or you want to be the comedian, right? I just wanted to be a social media comedian at the time. Now, not so much, but people didn't see eye to eye with me and my opinions. And I took a break because people were just saying it's not going to work out. That's not how the world works. Nobody is going to be on social media like that. And then I got back into it July of, I believe, 2017 or 2018. I fully dedicated to it. And the story that you don't tell about that $5,500 is that she gave it to me. We invested in an account, and I was so young that I let somebody else log into it, who I gave my trust to. And he 2 days later took it from us, and we never saw that account ever again. And she still continued to invest in me even to this day. And now finally I've paid her back for the $5,500 and then some, as an appreciation gift. But she's a great investor for me still. And I think advice for parents is invest in your children, because if my mom weren't investing in me when I was a kid, and even, for Christmas, I would ask for a video camera to make YouTube videos. I would ask for a new computer so I could edit the videos, and mom would make it happen for me. And the only reason I'm in social media is because she was investing in her children and what they wanted to do. Even though she was one of the moms who made us play sports, and I'm happy for that because I love sports. But it was just super, super nice to have a mother who was investing in me and my interest. So if you're a parent, then I would say my advice is invest in your children, and believe in them. And if you're a kid, I would just say, don't, work against the grain. Don't confide to everybody else and what they're doing.
That's awesome. And Nathan would say, "Oh, don't cry, Mom," because that would probably make me cry.
Oh God.
All right. Well, thanks. And I'm so glad that you did this book, because you have a lot of knowledge at such a young age, and you've just blown it out of the park and had huge success and running a 7-figure business at 20 years old. It's pretty cool.